down, and I like this first ban a lot against Team Liquid. Team Liquid first picked it.
What's he gonna do now?
I do too, and I also like the NALCS ban here on Yasuo. We heard the analysts talk about the game's been mostly about who has the better bottom lane, but despite the fact that Doublelift had a better tournament than Reckless, Caps has more than made up for that and has stepped up to the plate on champions like this Yasuo, maybe even the Vladimir ban coming afterwards, but Caps has been the carry to step up when Reckless has not.
Well, every 80 carry ban we see, we get close to the final destination, Sivir versus Jin lane, to truly find out who is the strongest of these two teams. And Morgana banned away, so a lot of the comfort for TL is banned away by Fnatic.
We also gotta mention the Braum that is being picked by Hylissang. Almost every time it is open, it makes it even harder for Fnatic to win this laning phase against some of these ranged supports. It is the Rakan being locked in. Now,
but what does it mean?
That's the thing. Fnatic against Team Liquid yesterday also took Rakan in their first rotation on red side, but did not take Xayah after. Team Liquid responded with Jhin Tahm Kench when they saw Rakan, and that's where Reckless stepped away from Xayah and grabbed Sivir instead. TL can do the same.
Well, we'll see what they want to go for here with Malzahar off the table. Of course, Provolter needs a new pick, and Karma will be that flex. Now, can be a liability in the laning because you land the combo. She's a squishy champion. You can kill her in the 2-on-2, but Provolter, it's been better when he's on a utility mate so they can sit back, easily wave clear, and just be there for utility on the team. Doesn't have to land major skill shots. Like it does become a flex here.
Where the priority comes, it could just be an entire bot lane, be very different from the Tahm Kench and Jhin they took last time. Could be Karma Kog'Maw with some power in the 2v2, but the Kog'Maw is the selection here. Let's see if they actually complete Xayah Rakan. Usually means they're gonna play for lane a bit more.
Let's see, yeah, because we know Hylissang is fantastic on Rakan. He already showed us some of the engages against Team Liquid when Fnatic were down and needed a good fight to get back in the game. He was the one who started it. It is ticking down, and it's gonna be Xayah Rakan. They did not want to play it yesterday, but today Reckless is saying we need something different in the bot lane, and this is what we asked for. More flexibility in the draft for Fnatic.
And more lane pressure, which is a big thing. We've seen so many jungle matchups be changed by mid and bot lane priority. Team Liquid looking like their best Royal Never Give Up impression, trying to find the ways to raise the puppy Doublelift tier on what's likely to be a Pugma there in the bottom lane, a Karma mid, a Tahm Kench support, top and jungle still to show, but built around Doublelift.
They really don't want to leverage the flex pick like we've seen RNG do so expertly to the end of the draft on the red side. Happy to lock it in. Does mean that they will have the ability to counter-pick jungle potentially here. They know about the Trundle already. It's just going to be a Gragas game again for Xmithie.
It could be, but I really want to highlight Aurelion Sol as an option in the mid lane. You can take it against the Karma. It works wonders with Xayah Rakan if you want to play around the bottom lane, and it is available in this draft here. It's not banned away, just a Zoe removed.
But grabbing Aurelion Sol puts your late game faith on Reckless, a man who has not stepped up so far this tournament. Sol is a champion who will fall off, but does have a phenomenal early and mid game, and it'll be a pick of play styles if they do that versus, say, a Vladimir who will scale into the late game. Those are the two picks I think we're looking at for Caps. Maybe he goes somewhere else. Team Liquid do not have the chance for Ornn. They do have a Sion or Shen up for the top side, though.
Yeah, also, just quick pick to add for Caps, the Corki. Something he's gone back to when really needed, and he can be a late game carry on it. There's the Gragas, Papa Smithy, you already mentioned it. Xmithie looked good in the team fights on it in the last game.
And this is with Graves up. You know, a lot of teams are taking Graves in this position, but no priority shown by Xmithie. The Gragas, as long as you don't opt into those trades early, should be able to skirt around the Trundle. Looking for Fnatic to lock in those solo lanes. Would end up being a blind pick on the Gangplank, and into Impact, that top lane tank player, you don't necessarily respect the carries to try to attack it in the 1v1.
I wouldn't necessarily hate even a Galio right now for Caps. You've got the Rakan to dive in. You've got on a front line you can add into that and find some really strong hard engage. You can help the Gangplank split push as well. Impact often left on an island, but no, Talia grabbing in for the mid lane, has good laning, has good late game, and still can roam down to the bottom lane as well. This is a very well-rounded pick for Caps.
Of course, it is a comp from Fnatic that is fairly squishy. They are against a late game carry on Doublelift, and they're against a very strong front line that not only has the Gragas, but also just shielding from a Karma, a Devour from a Tahm Kench. There's a lot of ways for Team Liquid to play these team fights, and we actually look to get a Vladimir top lane in the end.
I can almost hear the analyst desk considering backpedaling now as they need to put their faith on a top lane carry performance from Impact. He'll probably stick with the Ignite, look to attack in lane. This is a classic counter pick onto the gangplank because you can turret dive so easily while you're requiring Impact to show an attempt at speed, an attempt at aggression that is counted against Team Liquid more than it's counted for.
Yeah, and we have to remember the jungle pick. It's a slow scaling one for Xmithy. Yeah, you can gank with it, but you don't want to try and 1v1 a Trundle. So it gets a little bit harder for Team Liquid if they want to set up any aggressive tower dives in the early game, because if Brox is there, he wins the trade.
And you've got a matchup right now with what looks like priority in the middle and bottom lanes here for Fnatic. Caps, I think this is outperformed Pobelter. Regardless of the matchup, I think he'll have the pressure. And Xayah Rakan is a famously scary 2-on-2. I can't see Tahm Kench plus a Kog'Maw winning that battle. This will be the last time these teams face off until Rift Rivals. We know both these teams will be back there for that in the middle of Summer Split, but someone's going to win this extended best of 3, 1-1 in the head-to-head. Only one of these teams will be that final squad of the knockout stage in that top 4. Caps on your screen, hoping to lead the charge and have it be Europe's Fnatic that takes the win here.
This game looked so unlikely to happen 2 days ago. Team Liquid had lost so many games. Fnatic had already 4 wins under their belt, but classic international tournament fashion, we had to get the EU versus NA tiebreaker. Fnatic's been losing almost everything, and Team Liquid has won almost all their games to get to this point.
Only one team can go to Paris, Freak, and it's so exciting to introduce these teams because I think we're going to have a fiery one, and the level 1 is where I have my eyes most closely glued. There's certainly some shenanigans that can happen.
This is going to be a fun one here as we've loaded now onto Summoner's Rift. Caps gets hit real quick.
All right, game is over.
Yeah, Pobelter 100% of all damage.
Yep.
1v9. And Xmithy kites back.
The reason why I talk about the level 1 is actually we saw quite a lot of karma into Taliyah in the LCK, and while Gragas, like you mentioned, Deficio, doesn't want to be skirmishing against a Trundle around a Scuttle Crab, the Flash and Body Slam engage, the Tether to set it up. No Ignite from Pobelter, but if you're seeing a half health or slightly above half health Taliyah in the mid lane, there is that outside chance Pobelter can get a good lead. And remember, while we haven't seen it this tournament, Banner of Command to answer the Taliyah's roams is also possible from the Karma.
Yeah, the goal is always to keep the dematerialized stacks so you can kill the first few banners and then you can make plays in the mid game. And once you get further, the AD carry will be holding mid anyway and can take care of whatever Pobelter puts down. And we get the level 1 invade. It is spotted. Team Liquid defensive setup.
Impact's Vladimir, of course, not a great level 1 champion, doesn't fight for much, so Fnatic going for the invade on red. Spotted out, and Impact trying to slow them down a little bit. Not sure how much he'll be able to gain. Xmithy going to kite back around. He will find Broxa with the W. Can they fight for this red? Xmithy gets the smite with a red buff on. Whipple's in kind of a bad spot. Impact kiting away, getting a bit low on health. He's got to respect the damage output. They've got Whipple in their sights. He flashes, and he cannot get it. First blood.
Oh, there might even be more fighting now, but Broxa and Caps look to run away. Xmithy is level 2 with the red buff.
You're in Body Slam for maybe a Body Slam Flash, not going to go for much here. Has alone time with his Raptors.
So Team Liquid, they predict Fnatic will invade with the stronger early jungler. They will look for something. Xmithy does not run down to his blue buff. He walks around, and the very important Smite War. Who gets red buff? Who gets level 2? It's Team Liquid. Perfect start for them and the worst possible start for Fnatic.
And only with their level 1 vision was that play possible, because you know that Xmithy steals W first, walks in, and then he has a burst combo that's not available to Broxa. Goes for that extra auto attack. The red buff falls to 600. Drunken Rage auto plus Smite. Clean stuff from Xmithy.
And let's see it one more time.
So with that extra information, I think TL actually problem-solved this very, very well. Broxa and Reaper walk up. Xmithy does the do-si-do, walks all the way around the other side, and waits for it to fall low.
Yeah, this is great when you win the Smite War. It's not great when you lose the Smite, and that is why Fnatic ends up getting punched. Caps level 3 roaming top lane.
Early to Impact, still level 1, and as Vladimir gets 2, he can go for the Sanguine Pool if he needs to disengage much of this, and just gets pulled back. Looks like he's yet to pull the trigger. Has empowered Q now. He can heal up and is going to survive Whippo. TP possibility coming in as Pobelter here to keep the lane alive, maybe unneeded.
Well, wants to make sure that Whippo and Fnatic do not go for any sort of kills here. This actually reminds me of the very first game Whippo played for Fnatic. in the EULC as Caps was on Italia. He walked top lane level 3 and just started tower diving the enemy top lane to get Whippo rolling. He's doing the same thing here, but this time, in fact, did stay alive.
Definitely need that assistance when you are the gangplank on the top side because of how the matchup does go inevitably. No ignite left open or anything like that, but nice little bit of damage as we return to the top side.
I want to give quick credit to Team Liquid's duo lane as well. In a game where they knew there was no jungle pressure, they've actually managed to outlane a Xayah Rakan duo, one that's so happy to take fights. But it's actually the push and farm lead towards Doublelift and Ole.
Yeah, I think this Time Kench lane, only really level 1 is where you don't look for a fight. After that, Time Kench is actually a much stronger laner than a lot of people give him credit for. And obviously with Doublelift, as long as he doesn't get all in without Ole right there to devour him, well then there's not really any kill pressure for Fnatic's bot lane yet. I think the goal is more hit your level 6, get your Taliyah coming down, and then the combination of multiple champions is going to be hard to avoid for Team Liquid. Proxy is looking for something top. They really want to get Whippo going.
It is still a flashless Vladimir. Watch out for the possible barrel chain. There's that one. He's going to not duck under in time. He takes the damage. Impact could be in a bad spot. And Power Q available. And there's no one in range. He's got to run away from this one. Turn Ignite with TP and get back in.
Oh, I think Broxah could maybe have stepped in for another hit and then flashed away. But they didn't 100% know where Xmithy would be on the map. He's actually top lane at the moment. He's going with his one. Whippo's recalling. Might not get there in time. Oh, Whippo, he's going to
recall. Q, Ignite is going to stop it. Oh, Impact is 5 HP. The minions actually get the kill. An unassisted one at that, but the trade is in.
And in the end, because they have to use the jungler's attention, you'd probably say advantage goes to the side of Fnatic in that trade. The minions doing the dirty work there. Yes, they were some EU minions.
Well, we are in Germany here for this one. Nice separation, knock it only into Ole. Pulls him right back out, but suddenly Taliyah Caps is here, looking for the pressure. Can he find the knockback on Ole, who kites forward, has the thick skin, and doesn't even have to burn the flash. Brox is here to backfill in case it's a gank.
Yeah, great dodge here from Ole. Very important because Caps was setting up for roam number 2 that will happen once he hits level 6.
That was an insane investment from Caps. He flashed over the wall to pull off that turret dive.
He's gone all in for these different ganks. Let's see the one in top lane. Broxah with red buff. They know the pool is gone. They know there's no flash from Impact. But they don't stay and just give him that last little bonk in the head.
I think a single auto from Broxah wouldn't have been enough. I think it would have been about 10 HP short. We watched the replay here. Ends up taking the aggro. And the auto attack draws the aggro and ends up being that trade.
Well, it's still plus gold to Team Liquid, but without teleport available because the Ignite was on cooldown because of that. He couldn't get back to catch the lane again, so this is a big farm lead for Whippo. Got the early Hex Drinker in. He's going to feel pretty safe in this matchup.
Caps using his flash for that turret dive and not getting a kill can be oh so important because Gragas' cask is soon up. A flash for the tether, a cask, and a kill onto Caps is very possible.
That's why we need to see Caps get out of this lane here and actually use this ulti. He's been setting up a gank in top, a gank in bot without it. Now it is available. That last one, stop the recall and Xmithy gets it in the end.
Well, it does buy him like 7 seconds or something, and the Gragas will be off the map, but a small temporary experience lead. As Broxah can go back through his jungle, does get spotted top side, and now Impact has his flash available, but Whippo 6. A level lead, and 2/3 of a level at this.
And let's marvel at the vision that's been placed by Team Liquid. We already saw that Broxah's in a ward, double control ward bot side for that fabled mid-pressure and mid-priority to stop the Taliyah from being able to roam unbeknownst. So it's only going to be a top-side roam that you'd think would be successful on the Taliyah. Great information open to TL. They look like it's a different team than we saw on the Rift a couple of days ago.
Absolutely agree on this one. You can almost say the same for Fnatic, who had such an incredible run in the middle part of the group stage. After maybe a rough day one, they won a lot in a row. Either way, it's come down to this, and the gold is dead even, so you can't call a favorite just yet on this one. Xmithy back to the top side. Whippo has everything available, though. Impact kind of showing is level 6, so this could be the big fight. How can he outplay this? Barrels are up. A lot of damage coming across the explosive cask. Not yet pulled in as they find for the damage output, pushing him back around. Impact will not get smacked down. Xmithy gets the kill, but here comes the roam topside. Broxah and Caps joining in for this one. Impact does not have a way out. He can charge for some damage, but he will be killed off. A nice trade for Fnatic.
But it's just a trade. 1 kill for 1 kill. Poe Builder staying mid lane and can push in this entire wave here. So Caps will see some of these minions die. Whippo with the Hex String against double AP. Let's see it all in.
A lot of damage on Ole. Only level 5. He's got a lot of damage on him. Will stay alive, but now Double is fighting back. Reckless is 6. Hillsong is not.
There's still potions on Ole's side, so he's happy taking the damage here if it means Double gets the free hit onto Reckless. And this is the all-in from Fnatic that we might see more of once Hylissang hits level 6, but ideally they have a Taliyah roaming down as well.
And ideally, Hylissang's not laning with teleport if they're looking for an all-in like that. Didn't have Ignite.
We didn't go for the ulti on top of it, but did look for the Devour on cooldown. So now next round could be good against double if the Devour's on cooldown for a few seconds.
Let's remember PoBuilder's TP is ready. In case a fight breaks out, he could instantly show up in the bottom lane.
Sounds a bit unstable here.
Thanks, Taliyah.
Thank you, Khan. Was it Taliyah?
Yeah.
In a way, we don't care.
I do. The ground is a bit unstable here. What she means is this one hangs in the balance, and either team could tip it over to their side.
I thought we were the esports announcers for this game.
No, it's the Freak Taliyah duo cast. Me and Caps got this one. It's still an NAEU. Group are going to find almost a knockup on the hole. It has to flash out of it. Nice play from Hylissang. TP didn't make that happen.
And they punish the lack of flash now. Caps has been focusing his attention to top side. Reckless and Hylissang staying somewhat even and CS slightly down compared to Doublelift. Of course, is still rushing towards that Rage Blade on his side. Typically still see the Essence Reaver for Xayah come in first. Hylissang gets a few wards in. Will spot Xmithy at the Grum.
Always fun to see a transfer in power when it comes to the Vision game. Previously, we were complimenting TL, but the double control ward has been cleared on the bot side. In fact, not yet has been able to get any sort of foothold in this map. We haven't even talked about the CS lead the GP has. It is a 29 CS lead. Got a lot of help, a lot of jungle attention from Broxah. But it's definitely delaying the time where Impact can just run at Gangplank and force him out of lane.
Looking for the pillar. Ole might be in a bad spot. Knocked in the air. Does not have flash. Does not have a way out. Rooted in place. The charm comes in. Reckless grabs the kill. Number 3 on the game now for Fnatic. And there might be a re-engage as Caps walks up. Spots Xmithy on the ward. They see each other here. Potential 4v2 under the turret. Teleport up for PoBelter.
Just by being here, Caps will actually force TL to step back a little bit and use the TP from PoBuilder. Now Fnatic can just step away and get that big summoner on cooldown. So very smart play, and it all starts with them having a bot lane that can force plays in the early game. They force the flash from all late, then Broxah moves down, and they are playing around Reckless and Hylissang to get an advantage.
And they're also playing around the transfer in mid-priority that we talked about, where the control wards that gave TL all the roam to bot side were removed. It was Fnatic controlling that area. Ole walked up without flash, and he was thusly punished by Fnatic.
And it's just a completely different early game compared to the one we saw yesterday between the two teams, where Fnatic had to sit back, play very passive. Team Liquid fully controlled the game and had all the lanes they could play around. Now we have a roaming mid from Caps, and we have a bot lane that can force fights.
And I just love these seesaw of control games where teams get tripped up on small things that evolve as things as small as vision lines really dictate the plays. Now TL trying to recreate some control bot side. Love to pick up the first Drake of that game, the Infernal Drake, but for now they know that even with deep vision, they're not really in a position to start the Drake.
Xmithy, though, wants to see if he can do something, because he knows if he just leaves the bot lane on their own, they might get ganked by 5 members, or at least 4 and GP ult. Hylissang looking for more in the bottom lane.
It's the knockup on Ole. Not going to go for much more. Kites right back out, but pretty good damage at a double lift here. Got to respect the damage up, but when you don't see the cog by now looking for the body slam, forcing flash to the Caps, and PoBuilder can now walk in for the root. This could be a kill, but first they knock down Xmithy, and he betrays the damage output. Pope can't get anything else in. Gangplank ult shows up, but not quite the assist. Another great kill for Fnatic.
A lot of front-loaded damage as Xmithy was looking for the perfect cask, and then even a defensive cask wasn't going to be enough to keep him up. So Fnatic roll through in the 2v2 as bot lane. This time the Devour should do its job.
And it's starting to look like wins all across the board, nearly getting the root onto Ole as well. Double tries to trade back on a Hylissang. Fnatic getting so much now out of this mid game.
So good to see Hylissang and Reckless play aggressive in this bot lane. We're still waiting for Caps and roam number 3, 4, 5, a million, whatever it is, because he's been active since level 2, going towards the top side. Now he has ulti ready. Team Liquid are playing defensive. They know they have double lift in the late game. They know they have a composition that can protect him, but they need to get there.
Again, one of the missing pieces of the puzzle for Team Liquid is the reason that drafts like this work with the Vladimir top side is that Vladimir runs at the Gangplank. He's got the Shurellis already, uses ult, his Ignite, and Whippo has to use his ult defensively to stop there being cross-map plays. That just happened about 20 seconds ago. That needs to happen basically every time they know that Gangplank ult is off cooldown. Otherwise, if it's used bot lane, we know advantages will stack up for Fnatic.
He's just trading back and forth. He's got a significant level lead, 10-8 currently. Actually beautiful by Whippo in this top side, nullifying impact entirely. And here's the Weaver's Wall looking to find this kill. Ole does not have a flash to keep Doublelift safe. Here comes the charm. Double's going to flash away, but this will be a dead Tom Kench. He's going to go back to the bench for this one. He's still trying to run. They don't quite have the attacks. Are you serious? Finally, the chomp comes in for Brox to kill us here, but here comes Liquid.
Yeah, he bought a lot of time. Smithy, Pro Builder showing up. The turret will die very soon.
And that's going to be first turret, and now nothing to hide behind here. A great play out of this one. Just a quick channel, guaranteed all they needed out of this. Fnatic just continuing to find more and more in this game.
That's exactly the play we talked about with Ole sitting without the flash. Just move down with your mid laner and jungler. Secure the first turret of the game. 4,000 goal lead for a team that has lost the early game in the last few games they played.
Colonel Drake may be the only sparing solace for the side of TL. The Gangplank keeps doing Gangplank things. Pobelta's been roamed on pretty significantly by Caps. Very nice use of the Weaver's Wall there around objectives. Perhaps a preview of how the mid to late game will play out. Colonel Drake picked up. Team Liquid needs some breathing room because plays like this are amping up the tempo of the local crowd and Fnatic.
There's nothing you can do here if you are the bot lane of Team Liquid other than just leave earlier. That's effectively at the moment the wall comes in. The no flash time can should just die quickly, and Fnatic probably thought he was going to die quick, but that heal from Doublelift baited them slightly. Luckily, they actually managed to take him down. Let's see. Pro Builder's TP is soon ready, but he's not been able to actually use it offensively. He's been trying to save the bot lane, and sadly for Team Liquid, it didn't work.
Credit where credit's due to Caps. He has gotten all around the map. He's gotten out of that mid lane, still farming very well because Bolter has actually the farm lead, but he's gotten top lane to make sure Impact doesn't snowball ahead. He's gotten bot lane to help him get first turret, and now looking at another dive in his lane. Fnatic pressing all across the map. This turret getting down below half HP. Still no one is stopping Reckless to get this one. Hillsong can easily jump away and not rooted up by Pobelter. The minion wave will fall, but not after about 4,000 health lost off that turret.
It's what you can do when you early kill a turret in a lane. You got pushed in by Fnatic bot lane. The minion wave is slowly going to push back towards them. And then when the enemy AD carry is stuck there farming, you just go mid and you start hitting the enemy turret.
And there's very little respect when it comes to the side of Team Liquid. If you know that Vladimir, he doesn't have a scary teleport play. Smithy's in vision, trying to help wave clear. Definitely been a great game by Reckless, as we showed with the little side pop there after a struggle in the previous times. He finally trusts in the Zyragon.
Oh, they both get grabbed, and Ole didn't kind of find the teammate in time. Flashes to make sure he can disengage in time and keep Doublelift safe. Caps and just everyone on Fnatic taking turns carrying right now. Impact getting a bit low. Channels for a bit of a slow. Gets shot again, and Whipple continues to win this matchup. Reckless. This turret slowed down, but no one to stop him. 2 turrets to 0 now. And Fnatic roaming topside. Impact's days are numbered. Here comes the charm, looking for a little bit. Hillsong will be found out. Jumps across, gets the knock up, the knockback. The kill is in. At least a trade kill for Impact, but it's still plus an assist and alone time with that turret.
Let's give some credit to Impact for surviving so often, but let's see bot lane is 2v1.
Pobelter might get away from the root as he flashes upwards, but Broxton now has a pillar in his face, and that will be another kill answered on that side of the map. TL can clear waves, but now look at a dive with Smithy to get the knockback, the flash forward. Whippo's here, what a beautiful cast, but look at the healing, there's just too much. Body slam, can't pull him back in. Weaver's Wall is going to guarantee it, and Ole is just ulted into nothing. Can he even find Whippo? That's the question. As
Doublelift is coming.
Down, gets pushed around, Caps finds yet another. It's 9-4 in kills. Doublelift wants in, Impact the same, but he's got to respect Caps. The flash forward, the damage might just be there. Doublelift does finally get one, but Impact needs another, or it's going to be all for nothing. Finds a slow, but knocks into the air. Can he get him? No, he cannot. Whippo able to kite away. Impact can't find the kill. Fnatic constantly outplaying Team Liquid.
It is fantastic to watch an aggressive Fnatic here in this mid-game. They're just forcing plays left and right. Whippo chased down that kill, took so much damage from the turret, and Doublelift tried to come up in the end to get the kill onto him, but he only managed to kill Caps.
This team just excels under enemy lines. They've been so aggressive around the plays, all of it off the fulcrum of Whippo winning a matchup considered unwinnable at the start of the season. The dive comes through, and Hillsong takes basically his whole health bar to the turret and the Hemo Plague. He goes down for the 1-for-1. You'd think it'll be over now, Deficio, but it kept go.
Oh, they want the turret, and Smith, he wants to defend it, so they start fighting. Caps returns to the top lane in the 2v1, and Smithy plays this one very well.
Yep.
Once Whippo is there, he knocks him back under the turret and even body slams and kicks him back in again, but it's just not enough to kill him, and now you just have all of Team Liquid running towards the top lane. Ole is there alone, can't do anything. we're back to life, because basically everyone else just kind of died. Doublelift got 1 kill, but then Fnatic got a bunch more.
It's a Rage Blade Kog'Maw with a red buff. Impact still licking his wounds on the top side. Trinity Force plus Hex Drinker makes Whippo very strong. It's level 11 Vladimir about to face the duo lane.
And I think we got to give Impact some credit for surviving so often, or at least trading 1 for 1. Like, he's been attacked multiple times, starting already at level 1 when they had a trade in the enemy jungle. But he's gotten 3 kills. Yes, he's down in CS, that's a problem, but he's at least getting some gold.
My struggle with comments like that, though, is they gave him counterpick. He's supposed to have the aggression. The matchup is Doublelift.
Yeah, just gets into Whippo. That should be a kill out of the Kog'Maw. Ole sadly takes it away. Maybe was afraid for his teammate's life. It was something that's picked up, but you've got Fnatic still pushing around the map. This top lane likely to fall.
If we're going to talk about Ashe Soraka and criticize Flash Wars, you have to say the same thing about going for the last pick, Vladimir. And while he's been good on the defensive execution, it was about winning lane that last pick on the red side was selected.
But we have to look at a game where Fnatic have sent Caps top lane level 3, Brox at top lane. We now see the swap of the AD carry and support come up there. Like, he's been under siege during this game, and Team Liquid have not been able to respond to all the pressure coming from Fnatic in this early game, because now it's Team Liquid with the scaling from the bottom side. And Xmithie also with the jungle pick that typically do not want to fight at Trundle in the early game. Still though, Doublelift got an assist for himself. He's on 210 CS. He is their hope in the late game.
It's a 1,500 gold difference in the bot lane right now. So we talk about a 3-item AD carry requirement like Reckless's Xayah right here, but with the farm lead, first turret to 2 kills, he's kind of ahead of the curve and should remain at least as relevant as Doublelift, and especially so when that spike comes in of the 3rd item, which again will be reasonably early into this game. To put someone to Rip Throat into the mid lane as Fnatic look for something else to knock down. This Infernal Drake up right now. Team Liquid have the choice. Do they rush for this Drake and try to make this play? Despite a bit of a power trump, Impact is behind, can look for Caps with the Hemoplague and more. Here comes the hard control into that Drake pit. Here comes the big fight. They separate as Whippo's on the front side. Can they find the damage? Impact buys a lot of time. Put about out and Whippo will fall. It's a 5v4 in the fight now as TL go back in for the Infernal Drake. Xmithie should have this fight without too many difficulties. Picks that one up and can now TL disengage with 1 kill. Xmithie, days might be numbered. A great pillar buys some time, but it's Fnatic disengaging it again.
Look at Caps.
Does he make the big play? Pushes in Ole, but the gray health is on. Still looking for that fight. Looking forward as Impact doesn't get that kill just yet. The team still forced to disengage. The health bar is so low from TL. Blue buff goes over to, I think, Pobelzer. And the body slam out. Fnatic though with Broxa, and now with Caps they can find a play, but Ole can resuscitate Doublelift, no problem with W available, and I believe it will be. No, the shields are on, doesn't have the cooldown yet. Barely gets it, but can he keep him safe? Knocked into the air, Double gets the shield, but they do kill off Ole, and the TP now coming in. Whippo rejoins the fight. 5v4 this time for Fnatic, but there is no wave to push with.
Cancel TP from Impact to get in the back line. They were actually controlling the Rift Hole this entire time. Recalls will get off. Bit of a prediction there from Weepo. But the reason why Fnatic were priced in to keep going, this is the 3rd charge for Shelly.
Well, Fnatic did not manage to get the Infernal Drake. Team Liquid won the initial engage with Impact flanking from the side, I think disrupting a bit of the setup for Fnatic. So Team Liquid double Infernal on their side. Yes, they're down now. It looks tough at the moment, but if they can keep stalling this game, they have some crazy scaling with the Infernal.
And it was a true trade. 2 turrets for the immediate gold, whereas on the other side, of course, the Infernal, the big pickup for TL.
Yeah, that mid turret was taken down. Tier 2 fell to Shelly as we watch this fight again.
Let's see with Impact coming in. They don't know he's there. They're all in to kill the Gragas, and now behind them, Vladimir shows up, and a great ulti from Xmithie, knocking Fnatic back.
And that means they can just turn on to Bwipo, who's frontlining like he's a Scion because the fight was changed. The battle lines were changed. And speaking of battle lines, we're back to fighting.
Back to fighting the front side. Doublelift, though, on the power spike of a Hurricane is a very big deal for an impending battle. As we end the audio of our replay back here. Still things to watch for. Broxa can keep that Kog'Maw contained. Ole has to play around his Devour cooldown, one that nearly betrayed them in the last fight. Impact shoving in the bot lane, keeping up in farm at least.
And Fnatic really need to play around what they have. Look to the mid lane, very fed Talia, with the Weaver's Wall, of course, being very strong and objective taking. An objective game is the cleanest way to play this, because it's double Shirelias, Gragas, and Vladimir. If they're occupying all the time of Talia and Xayah, Kog'Maw's at a good item break-even point. There is still a team fight that TL win.
Definitely true, but I think Xmithie with this build is very squishy walking into the first fight. So if Fnatic can actually force around the Baron, they can turn on him. They don't need to be too scared of hitting the front line of Team Liquid. Normally with Zyrakan, yeah, you love to send the Rakan into the back line, but in this case, not fully necessary with how quickly they should be able to shut down a Gragas.
Look, they're going to be playing around execution quite a lot here. They've got cheeky ways of getting out of this. Smithy can flash, explosive cast can separate, all that fun stuff, and Tom Kench can maybe betray your focus fire. Now, Cap's pretty deep in the jungle, spotted on this, but the rest of the team is right behind him, so not a play to be made. Looking for the hard engage and not going to get it just yet. Ole actually doesn't grab the teammate. He never hits the devour. The bot lane is gone. Hylissang makes the huge play on this one, and the pressure is into the mid lane.
Fnatic, they knew there were no flashes from Doubles and Ole, so they saw them in the mid lane. They rushed to them, and they instantly just take them down. Great engage.
It feels like who's flanking who changes minute to minute, looking for Smithy.
They get the pullback. How good is the damage going to be? A little bit of damage back towards Caps. Explosive Caps, but doesn't put him right back in a turret range, so he stays alive. Inhibitor is gone, and there is so much control now for Fnatic.
Thought we were watching the setup to get to the back line, but the front line was exposed. Double lift Ole dead. Backing away now, finally a Fnatic. They have side waves to push up, but now they're at a huge point of power.
Oh, Impact was chasing Caps. He did not find him yet. He's still going for it. Caps will spot him.
Impact does have flash, but no Shirelius to pop for a few more seconds. Won't get that one in.
A big win here for Fnatic. Looking for the targets without flashes. Look at this here, all in, double lift. Attacking the Baron. What are you doing?
He's going to take aggro for a while, but the rest of the team is here. Can they get the isolated kill? Ole wants to save the Grey Health, but actually pops it as he takes one more shot. So now a support that can't team fight. Smithy also at 1/3. Tia went for the cheeky play, but could not find their way in.
Very optimistic to go in that way, and the pillar really stuck them in between a rock and a hard place. Smithy will back away. Another round of recourse required for Ole here. Could choose to pick up teleport with his Ignite, but probably will just walk back. And Fnatic have control of the Baron pit as Bwipo lies in wait.
Smithy spots this, but Bwipo, yeah, you can see him waiting to punish this Gragas. Prevent the smite steals. Broxa and Smithy have been two of the best smiters at MSI 2018. Right now they will not go for the steal attempt.
It's a huge moment for Fnatic. Reckless completed his third item. Caps is extremely fed on this Talia. Can they execute around the Baron? They have not fully cleared the vision outside. Bwipo will find Smithy. Don't remember, this is a squishy Gragas.
And they're going to line a big chunk of damage. Squeeze on health on the Baron. They've got to get this one pretty quickly. 2,500 left. Here comes the re-engage. A TP into the flank. Baron's getting low. It's going to be picked up by Broxa. And here comes the team fight. It's all about double its damage output. And he does exactly none of it. The Baron cleaned up. And Fnatic have all 5 alive.
Storyline on the back end of today is the improvement in Baron setups. They do pull away around 3,000 health. Only when they see that Smithy has no way into the pit do they actually commit to the smite. Now they have Baron. Base already in a bit of tatters. Going to be Fnatic looking for the kill on this Baron buff.
And this is Fnatic poised to talk and knock down North America, to take that 4th spot, to get their spot into the knockout phase. Finally, a good game out of Reckless, an amazing one, like it has been all tournament for Caps. 5-1 and 5, huge on the Talia. Looking now at this Infernal Drake.
Impact is top without TP, so Infernal Drake should go over to Fnatic. But that Reckless point is so huge. The most criticized play of all of MSI over the last few days. A lot of criticism towards him. Champion picks, the way he played. But the Zyra Khan, a combination that Fnatic did not want to pick yesterday when they had the chance, has been very big because they've given them another lane to play around in the early game.
Honestly, a pretty isolated bot lane, and they did fantastic work in that way. Sometimes seen as a snowball lane, but when you also know there's no chance of a response by the enemy jungler, and make your own plays as well. Hylissang, a great game alongside him. Continue to push forward as the cannon minion here with the Baron buff doing a lot of work.
And how good is this going to be as Fnatic look to take everything they can off this Baron? 2 minutes still on that buff. Here comes the Weaver's Wall to separate. Double cannot join this fight easily. This is going to be a very rapidly decaying turret here, and no flank for Impact either. And Hip now opened up.
TL really wants to go here, but it's Fnatic going.
They get the double knock-up, but Double is only to free far. Smithy is gone, but how about the backline access? Can they kill off the carries? So far, the answer is no. Broxa is way too tanky. Impact forced to run. 5 alive versus 4. Inhibitor is down.
Able to wait out the Hemo Plate. No value from it. Just going to be a second Inhibitor, but then knocking on the door of top 4 and that spot in Paris.
This extremely squishy Gragas is simply not able to be a frontline for Team Liquid. Fnatic, they've learned now. Just go for him, kill him every single time. There was a potential good fight for Team Liquid if they could get onto Caps, who was missing his flash, and Impact was there on the side. But the moment the fight started, Fnatic just bursted down Xmithy.
And with the wave as well, Impact was tilted away quite a long time. There was no easy access to go for the AoE Hemoplague and occupy space. You watch the replay, when it comes to TL, who needs to lead, it's so tricky.
Yeah, let's see the engage once again here from Fnatic. Xmithy wants to get in and try and shoot back to Talia, but he never even gets the chance. Instantly he dies, and that is now a one fight for Fnatic.
And as they just keep chasing on this one down, Impact just can't get enough done. The health bar is simply too high, and no one was there to fight the backline. That replay brought to you by Acer Predator and brought to you by Fnatic, predating on Team Liquid right now. Another turret to fall, looking to take inhibitor number 2. The Baron buff still on for this wave.
Such a big gold lead at this point in the game. 29 minutes in, 12,000 gold. Doublelift has his 3 items. I don't think it'll matter because him free hitting seems impossible.
Well, he's going to try with the Infinity Edge done now. He's got squishy killing as a potential. 50% crit, and they do a lot of damage. Not a ton of uptime on the W, but if he can hit the targets, he can shred them. It is still all about Doublelift. Impact AP not high enough, but Doublelift's attack damage is.
Right now, the minions in bot lane still slowly pushing in. They can survive this wave. Can no one needs to be moved yet.
Fnatic can still just go for the mid inhib, which just respawn here, and then you don't have to deal with a turret on your side. Flash is available on all the carries. Baron will still be quite a while before it respawns. Xmithy, Flash available, could look for a big engage.
You can see Doublelift is a huge threat right there. There's enough crowd control to set up these targets a little bit. Fnatic's overall 5-on-5, of course, so strong, and Caps can one-shot people if he lands his combo right. Fights away from the barrel, a big power play, almost gets Xmithy. Impact looking for the play-in, not going to go for this one. Shirley has popped on both of the frontliners here, and that turret is one shot away from dead as Doublelift clears the wave.
But they did manage to defend here. Team Liquid still kind of defended.
Separates to the top side, actually wants to go for some turret damage here, which means it's going to be engaged for Team Liquid. They get a bit of isolation. Reckless Kite Swim, and Hillsong is dead, and they're going to keep the dog alive. 5v4, turret falls, Cap still alive. Doublelift looking for his next target, maybe the flash forward. Whippo might just run out of health. He gets another one down as Doublelift gets that one, and now Caps has to run away. Doublelift has to respect the damage output as Ole's on the flank. Team Liquid might find a 3-for-0 on this one, but they have lost part of their base. Pavelter is low, and Ole gonna bring in a target. They're gonna get that 3rd kill. The base, though, is in shambles.
Caps fully committing on a solo mission to take the top lane inhibitor tower while the rest of his team didn't pull back at the same time. Actually gives over gold, precious gold, to TL that they had no right claiming. It's not enough to create a sea change, but it's a start.
Yeah, Fnatic did get the mid inhib down towards the end. I think as long as they can secure the next Baron or just go straight for the top inhib, they don't care about giving a little bit of extra gold over to Team Liquid, but obviously that is the one way TL can start a comeback, is crazy base defense against Fnatic and their onslaught.
I mean, Caps fully commits. He's going topside. He can't even rejoin this fight. And TL do the one thing they can do. They can rush in quickly. It's double Shirelias and a Karma in a 5v5 when just a single Q can DPS down the Gragas. It doesn't work. This time, it works much better.
That flank from Impact down the base gate, really crucial as well. Sets up that kill that Doublelift grabs, and Double actually gets all 3 in this fight. That's a big surge of gold for the primary carry.
So important that Doublelift saved his flash. Does not make him an easy target to aim for. Same thing for Pro Builder in the next fight. Ole's gonna be stuck in a tough situation where he can only devour one target, but Fnatic's engage can actually hit multiple with the Rakan from Hylissang.
At least all 3 backline carries of Liquid do have flash, but Fnatic still have bags of gold on their side. 10,000 up with double inhibitor down. They have absolute map control. The Baron is almost a foregone conclusion. Liquid are going to be rarely able to leave their base.
A bit of time because of the respawn timers, but that can be cleared in one round of sweepers if Fnatic are on point with that. Full court press, everything pushing in, and TL, whatever they decide to do, they can't they have to fully commit. Weaver's Wall.
Oh,
Does the Pavelta.
Yeah, but Ole, that's the one that is important to get over. If Tom Kench makes it, he can pull someone across.
There's a lot of wards from TL around the Baron to see if anything's happening, but they're going to do Blast Cone Trick into it. So TL did not see them walk by down here on the bottom side. They don't actually know if the Baron is started just yet. They're on their way.
They're spawning right now, and they see that actually not all of them blasted over, if anyone even did. Blue Trinket used by Fnatic. Actually checking for a Death Brush there. And now Caps surfing forward, looking maybe for Double, who is on the front line. This could be scary. Gets pulled back in. Where's your teammate? There is Ole. Health bar still pretty high on Doublelift, but does not have lifesteal.
Fnatic moving back towards the Baron. The bot lane in here. Perfect timing for Team Liquid. Just respawned making it a little bit easier for them to defend. Fnatic, though, they're in the Baron pit.
And they're rushing it down so fast, no one's in range to stop them. Hillsong even there to keep the rest of the team out. He can stop Xmithy, no problem, but doesn't spot the teammate. Doesn't matter, it's picked up. Explosive cast not in range. Hillsong in half, though. And Ole is around. Double can frontline, no problem, like Uzi does so often. Either way, it is a clean Baron, 1,500 gold to Fnatic and the buff for 3.5 minutes.
It is 4 items onto Double Lift, and Race the Puppy is what's going to be needed to meet the ultimate Puppy Master, that is Uzi for RNG, as the likely opponent if TL able to pick up the victory. Compensatory Drake here, the Mountain Drake, will help them push, and a pushing job is going to be required. They spent most of this game down, multiple inhibitors.
A little surprised not to see Liquid actually grab mid-turret real quick. They had the wards to know they weren't getting flanked, but I think they chose the safer option, deny the mountain, and now they've got a base defense once again.
Yeah, they're getting ready for the final fight. If Team Liquid lose this 5-on-5, it is over. They are knocked out of MSI. Fnatic are pushing in. Could look to secure all the inhibs first and guarantee even more pressure later, but Double F level 16, he's ready to fight.
Isolation on Xmithy down to 1/2 HP, and this could be the front line. Double F is going to get knocked up with the pillar, looking for the re-engage. Ole is going to save him, but the health bar is low. Impact, the early Sanguine Pool in his zone needs to not get found out by Hillsong, but this could be a ton of burst damage flash to stay alive, but a lot of health bars and cooldowns missing now for Liquid, but Caps low as well. Redemption keeps him afloat.
Ole behind.
Ole brings in one, but this is going to be very dangerous as Impact once again on the pool, and a kill comes across. This could be the fight that sends Fnatic to the top 4. Impact taken down a double for Reckless, and 5v3 could send Fnatic into the knockout stage. Double if low, looking for someone to kill. Whip on the front lines, crits though. This could almost be a kill. Oh, it's not going to matter. 4 in a row for the MVP of the European LCS, and Reckless and the rest of the team will send themselves to the knockout stage. They will extinguish Team Liquid's hope. Fnatic make it to the top 4. They're going to Paris.
Servant win here for Fnatic. They're not celebrating yet. They know there's still so much of MSI to be played for them, but the criticisms went team-wide. Caps had a down day, Reckless a down tournament. They turn it around when they need to, and all that roaming paid off as the front line just couldn't stay alive long enough for the Cogmore to carry.
And it's so important for Fnatic and for Reckless that he grabs the Xayah. They play Xayah Rakan. They have an aggressive bot lane, and it works. 9-0-2 in the end. Fnatic have been looking for that second carry all tournament long, and they find him in the very last tiebreaker game.
And it's been a tournament where we've talked about trust a lot for Team Liquid to begin, because of course Ole subbing himself out and all the struggles they had, the trust falls weren't there. I think there's almost that same analogy with the Xayah Rakan not being completed last time, but the trust once again comes together, the lovers reunited, and they will send the European team to MSI semifinals.
Reckless definitely did show up KDA-wise, 9-0-2, damage tied with Caps. But I do still think Fnatic have had one overperformer in the mid lane. This has been the breakout tournament for that mid laner. Caps, a newly crowned European champion, and absolutely massive. 5-2-9 was involved in almost everything.
I think you're 100% correct, but also Broxah in the jungle. What a tournament. The guy you don't always notice when Fnatic plays. It's always about the 2 big carries, but this tournament here has been very solid from his side, and another good game here on the Trundle.
Well, let's spare a thought for Team Liquid, who are eliminated after this result. Remember, TL were a laughingstock a few days ago. It seemed like this would be a tournament. It will be a very dark day